if you can't hear us, then you can also type other things in chat. We won't really know
Yeah.
the difference until we come back up again. But do our best to get things back up and running soon.
Okay, we
Oh, I
might
do think
be.
you can hear us now, so that's good. Welcome back, everyone. Apologies for those tech issues. I believe it looks like we're having things back up and running again. I will wait for tech just to double check that everything is all good to go.
All right.
Our current challenge for chat, if you'd like to join in, is describe the video game The Witness in one word. Either your experience, what you think it is, or what you think other people think about it. Any of the above. Hollister, what about you? How would you describe The Witness in one word?
Ooh. Man. I'm trying to pull from like recent experiences because I replayed the game recently. I would say relaxing,
Ooh.
but maybe that's just my weird way of relaxing, just you solving puzzles.
A good one. CJ, what about you? How would you describe The Witness in
Um,
one word?
I think my word of choice would be I guess it's not really one word, but mind bending would be a word that I would use to describe
Ooh.
it in kind of a relaxing sort of way. All right, it does sound like
Also,
we
I
are
see an
good though.
esoteric in chat as well. But
Yeah.
yes, we are good to go. So if you want to count us
So
back in.
we should let's rerun intros because nothing was heard. So I will let our lovely hosts redo their intro for this, even though we've
All
kind of
right.
jumped off the iceberg already.
Okay, I'll do the intro again. So once again, folks, hello and welcome back to Bingothon Winter 2024. You may find the link to donate to Fred Hutch right below the stream. So, CJ, Val, it's time for the Witness Double Bingo. I'm sure the both of you, although well, CJ on comms, but Val also racing, you will have an exciting race for us. So go ahead and take it away.
All right. So to recap again, first time in a long time we've had the Witness here at Bingothon. You saw it earlier with Boo, but you're going to see quite a bit more. If you have not played the game and you think you might, and you don't want to spoil kind of the sense of bewilderment and surprise at some of the twists and turns of this game, I would recommend maybe considering coming back to the stream in a little bit so that you don't spoil yourself on this game. This game is an amazing casual playthrough experience if you are into puzzle games, and I would highly recommend it for anyone who hasn't played it. But if you are okay kind of having that spoiled, this is the randomizer, so you will not see actual vanilla game puzzle solutions. You'll see kind of the concepts behind the puzzles, but that's not really a super huge reveal, all things considered. But yeah, I am joined for the race at least by Val. Val's unable to join us due to technical issues on VC. So it's just me. You have my lovely voice for the next 45 minutes along with our wonderful hosts. We're going for double bingo. An important caveat, actually, though, is that this bingo is not designed specifically for the randomizer. It was designed for the vanilla game. And there are a couple of goals that are significantly unbalanced by the existence of the randomizer, because it was, obviously designed for static solutions that everyone who was playing knows by heart and could input in a couple seconds without having to think about them, as well as a small handful of goals that may just not be possible. So hopefully we get lucky and we don't come across that, but we will see. That's all I've got. Val and I are going to do a countdown over in Bingo Sync, so that we can get going. So we'll be starting here in just a couple of seconds. Just making sure that all is ready for us. But yeah, so you guys will see the randomizer right away, and all of that. And like I said, it is double bingo. So get ready for that. And I am starting the countdown now. And we are off. Right. So starting off here, so this is a puzzle game about drawing lines. So we are just going to go around and draw a bunch of lines here. Can tech let me know if my game audio is working on the stream, because I am not hearing my own game audio, and that could just be my PC being finicky. I promise that this is a well-rehearsed machine. We know what we're doing here at Bingothon.
Well, while Tech is getting you that answer, I do want to read out a donation that came through right before the start of this run. That is $25 coming in from War Machines LLC, who says, "Witness this money," with 6 fire emojis. And then, "I love my boyfriend 2K24. Thank you so much, War Machines LLC. And that gets us to a really cool donation total. $707 raised toward Fred Hutch Cancer Center. Thank you so much. And that also went towards our character recruitment only incentive for our upcoming run, meaning we only have $50 to go to meet that one. Thank you so much.
So I'm now out of the tutorial area there. Took a hot second because those puzzles decided to be a little trickier than usual. So those are really simple puzzles that just require you to draw lines from beginning to end, which are really quite simple. The puzzles, I promise, will get more complicated as we go on here. But I am detouring to collect the first audio log that I will be collecting of the run. These are scattered across the game. There are quite a few of them. I'm being told that my game audio is not working, unfortunately. Oh, I wanted to grab one more. So I will restart my game in a second here. Just this game launches pretty fast, so it's not a big deal. So this is my second audio log. I will be trying to collect 10 of them this run. So I'm going to quit and then relaunch the game as soon as it comes back. And hope to God that that brings the audio back.
Never finding
There we go.
the builder.
My stream's still good.
This house.
Oh, I got stuck on a ledge there. All right, so now we're going to come to our first symbol of the game. We'll be seeing at least some of them. These are what we call stones, and the objective here is to get them all segmented off so that stones of different colors do not share a section of the puzzle. They do not all have to be in the same section is an important thing to note there. Wow, I am failing. This is one of the easiest panels, one of the easiest sets of panels, but also one of the simplest mechanics in the game, so you can kind of see that I'm kind of breezing right through. So I am at, I forgot an audio log. I will go back for it. There's an audio log by those panels that I wanted to grab. Alright, so now we are on to symmetry, which is the next another new mechanic that's quickly being introduced here. Now, instead of drawing just one line on these panels, we draw multiple. And, we have to navigate paths that satisfy all the puzzle constraints with using both lines now. You gotta divert your attention to 2 places at once here. Kind of think outside the box a little bit. Sometimes these puzzles can be a little brute forcey, as you're probably going to see. That's one section done. And now we're going to get into some of the more interesting symmetries. This is what we call rotational symmetry, because the symmetry is not mirrored over a line. It requires you to rotate the panels, sort of rotate the panel in order to see the symmetry. Now these panels are rotational and also melting, which makes it really hard to see the the guidelines that you have to follow. So this isn't even a melted panel, and it's giving me a hard time.
I do think this type of puzzle looks beautiful. Like, I remember being frustrated by it when I played the game, but just watching you play this always looks amazing.
Yeah, this game is visually stunning in a lot of ways, in my opinion. And it's kind of the simplicity of the puzzles that... the simplicity of the concepts of the puzzles that really makes this game have a lot of allure for me personally, and one of the things that I really enjoyed casually. And one thing that I think this game does phenomenally well mechanically is kind of ramping up the difficulty of the panels. A lot of games sometimes struggle, especially puzzle games can struggle with difficulty ramp up, but as you can kind of see, we'll see that, you know, we get introduced to a mechanic, we do stuff with the mechanic. Why is this not randomized? Hang on. That's the vanilla panel. Did I just get lucky and get the vanilla panel, or did my randomizer struggle? No. I just re-clicked the randomize button. Well, this is not actually a randomized puzzle, so I will just resolve it for posterity. Fortunately or unfortunately... Oh, my game just crashed. I'm going to put the same caveat out that we put out during Boo's run with The Witness, where the randomizer operates directly in the game's working memory, so it is prone to sometimes some instability if it does weird things. So, okay. I have re-randomized the game, and I will now solve this puzzle again for posterity. I may redo the Stones tutorial panels that I did over there, too, just to be safe, if they were not randomized correctly because my game crashed. Or was dying. Alright, so now we've introduced another mechanic. We have not seen this mechanic yet. This is the dots mechanic. We have to collect all the dots in the panel. We get to use both of our lines, though, for this. And in a little bit, we will see the natural evolution of this mechanic, which is both really predictable, but also just, like, really sensible.
Now, when puzzles are randomized, does that mean that there's a set of rules and then puzzles constructed out of them, or does it take a puzzle from somewhere else in the game and put it into this location?
Yeah, so these are completely unique puzzles that are generated by the randomizer, using kind of the spirit of the original puzzles to kind of guide the difficulty and the mechanics that are available to it for generation. There is also an expert mode to this randomizer that introduces its own new mechanic, which is really cool. Like, it just has its own complete set of its own puzzle mechanic that it introduces, and it takes kind of all of the vanilla mechanics to kind of their logical extremes that the game would never dream of doing because it is just simply too extreme. There we go. I got stumped on that puzzle a little bit. There are randomizers that do just shuffle panel positions in the game. Those are fun too. There is a mode on this randomizer where you can also do that in addition to creating new puzzles, which is an experience. I don't know how good of an experience it is, but it is an experience. I've never done it personally. You know, has to be someone's cup of tea, otherwise it wouldn't exist. So now we have different colored lines for our symmetry here, along with different colored dots that we need to collect. Sorry, I got distracted for a second there by seeing Val clicking off a bunch of goals on Bingo, and it looks like he and I have very different plans for this Bingo. which is interesting. I don't know if he is listening into the stream, so just in case, I'm not going to quite reveal my secrets yet. They will be revealed in due time. I am struggling right now. I am very glad that my plan currently does not require me to go to one of the most difficult areas in the game, the swamp. The color swamp, which has one of the most notorious mechanics in the game, the shapers, which require you to draw lines that divide the puzzle into shaped segments, which is, it sounds a lot simpler than it actually is. The beginning of that section is not super difficult and is super viable for from like a racing perspective and a randomizer perspective in this context. But in random, that's one of the things where randomizer gets really unbalanced by being rando instead of just bingo. Deeper swamp goals are extremely challenging to do in a reasonable amount of time. Okay, why am I struggling so much with this panel? Sorry, I need to...
I can't emphasize enough that you are live solving these puzzles from a distance while commentating. I take forever to solve these puzzles close up in the comfort of my own home with nobody watching and no words coming out of my mouth. I am blown away by the skill on display from both runners in this run. Hollister, how are you feeling watching these two legends play this game?
Well, I'm just kind of looking through the bingo board, honestly, and just seeing what Val's doing, what CJ's currently working on. And I mean, I'm seeing Val just needing that boat treehouse rock audio log. Wouldn't surprise me if they're on their way towards that just now. But yeah, very, very interesting to see. Well, first of all, how the randomizer works and how everything just kind of falls into place. This is really interesting stuff all around.
Are like this, being so deeply integrated in the game is such a cool effort to be able to add so much of this replayability to what is a pretty awesome game even on first play.
Now for this next segment of 7 panels, the color on the yellow line is going to gradually fade away so until we can't see it anymore, which is a challenge for, I think, very obvious reasons. But this is the goal I am currently working towards. I am suspecting that Val found a better set of lines than I did in planning, which, you know, that happens. That's bingo for you. And I think that this segment, I started talking earlier kind of about the difficulty curve of this game. And I think that this section of the game is a really good kind of example of it doing it well, because you can kind of see that the difficulty of the mechanics is ramping up, but at the same time, the difficulty of the individual panels is kind of coming down.
That is a really cool balance to be seeing.
Focus for a second here, because I need to, like, physically draw out the lines on my screen as I do this, because I cannot visualize the lines individually.
Yeah, chat, let me know if you're also trying to live solve these puzzles and just falling very, very, very far behind where our runners are at. I get a general concept of an idea, and then it's like, oh, nope, we're already done with this puzzle, moving on. If I even manage to mentally solve one of these at the same time as either of these runners, I'm calling that a victory for today.
Yeah, I just remember from my casual playthroughs taking entire minutes trying to solve some of these puzzles, and then suddenly, oh, whoops, here we go, we've already completed this and 3 more goals after that, so...
Right.
Keep up, Paul, come on.
Where is this thing going? I know it's around here somewhere. I'm looking for an audio log right now, and the audio logs are these tiny... They are very tiny and can be very difficult to spot sometimes.
Perfect and pervading.
Wait, are the
circulates in
positions of
all
the audio
natures.
logs also randomized?
No,
One
they're
reality,
static,
all
but they can be very
comprehensive,
hard to see if you
contains
don't know
within
the like
itself
super
all
precise
realities.
positions, which I do not.
The one moon
Ah, I see.
reflects
Okay.
itself
A
wherever
lot
there
of
is a
speedrunners
sheet of
also
water,
generally don't. We do have a
and
like
all
a
the moons in the
all
waters
audio logs
universe within
category,
the one
but
moon.
it's not super popular as far as I'm
The
aware.
absolute of all the Buddhas enters.
So this is my
One where you
4th
just
audio log.
The physicist Wolfgang Pauli
yeah. So
once
you
spoke
pick
of
up all the
two
audio logs in
limiting
that one, right?
conceptions,
Just
both
Yes.
of
just
which
that.
have been
But you have to solve a lot of
extraordinarily
puzzles
fruitful
in the
history of human
process.
thought, although no genuine reality corresponds to them.
I do love when
One
speedruns have
extreme
very
is the
self-descriptive
idea of
names.
an
It
objective
does help a
world,
lot.
pursuing its regular course in space and time.
So where are you off to
independently
now?
of any
I
kind of
am headed
observing
off
subject.
towards.
Unless that's a
has been
secret.
the
Sorry, I
key
don't want to reveal any
No.
secrets.
No,
but-
it'll
The
be obvious in a
other
second. I'm
extreme
headed off to the
is the
keep.
idea
The
of a
keep is
subject
Ooh.
has a lot of
Mystically
audio logs
experiencing
and
the
a goal
unity
that
of
I'm
the
going
world,
for.
and no longer confronted by an object.
I will be
Okay.
getting
Objective
4
world.
audio logs in the keep,
This has been the guiding image of
as
Asian
which will get me up to 8 total
Our
audio
thinking
logs
moves
out of
somewhere in the
10,
middle,
as
between
well
these two
as
limiting
another goal
conceptions.
that I am going
We should
for.
maintain the tension
This is one of the
resulting
goals
from
that I
these
am
two
just very
opposites.
hopeful is actually possible when it is
Randomizer,
randomized. And this is
1972.
actually going to be the first EP or environmental puzzle that I am going to be doing for this. This is not the environmental puzzle, but this is a really cool mechanic in the game. These are life-size puzzles. We are literally walking on pressure plates to draw the solution to the panel, rather than drawing the line directly on the puzzle. Which is super challenging sometimes. I believe that this is what I wanted to do. Yes, it is. 1 audio log,
Our hangnails
2 audio logs.
I boasted among men that I had known you. They see your pictures in all works of mine. They come and ask me, who is he? I know not how to answer them. I say, indeed, I cannot tell. They blame me, and they go away in scorn.
Seems really complicated because I remember these
You sit
puzzles
there,
weren't
smiling.
terribly, too complicated
Yeah,
on a
these
casual
are-
playthrough, but
Lasting
randomized.
songs.
I think
The
that the
secret
difficulty of these
gushes
is
out from my
slightly
heart.
ramped up.
They come and
in
ask me,
Randomizer.
tell me all your meanings. I know not how to answer them.
believe
I say,
I definitely did this
Ah.
this time.
who knows what they mean?
Oh, Val already has
They
double bingo,
smile.
so yeah, he picked a
Go
way
away
better
in utter
set of
scorn.
lines than I did.
And you sit
So
there
Congrats to Val and
GG's
Double
to
Bingo
Val.
so far.
Rabindranath
I was
Tagore,
gonna say at some point
1910.
Val is on a blazing pace.
Yeah.
And sure enough.
That is incredible. Val, GG's. That's quite amazing.
Yeah, that was
a lot
the,
of
he
things
did very
done
good.
very quickly. Looks like a lot of the environmental puzzles came together to make that one happen. I see jungle pop up, desert island, theater
Yeah,
church,
there's
and
quite a few.
quarry
Mhm.
rockline.
Now I'm trying to see my own solution to this puzzle. This is the first time today I've gotten stuck on this puzzle, despite doing the puzzle several times today.
Like you said, randomized throws a lot of wrenches into the adventure.
Okay, I
Plenty of different
think
things to
that
worry
this-
about there.
okay, well, I'm just gonna partially draw the solution to make sure that I'm on the right track, even though it's not gonna be correct. Yeah. So obviously this panel is randomized, so the solution on the puzzle on the pressure plates is randomized. However, for the environmental puzzle, we actually want to draw a puzzle in the environment using what we step on these pressure plates to make the line that we draw. That it'll make sense in a second. I promise, I hope. So environmental puzzles are puzzles that take place in the environment rather than on a panel. They require you to kind of find a sort of naturally existing circle and end point, circle starting point and the end point of a puzzle, kind of in the natural environment in order to do it. Okay. It's a little messy, but this is the solution. I did correctly identify the pieces of the solution. And I think that I will be I'm not certain, but I think I will be able to do this on a as an environmental.
If a man, holding a belief which he was taught in childhood or persuaded of afterwards,
Yes, I think that
keeps
this will
down and
work.
pushes away any doubts which arise about it,
But I do need to do a couple other things
purposely
first.
avoids the reading of books and the company of men that call into question or discuss it, and regards as impious those questions which cannot easily be asked without disturbing it.
There's a question from chat on where the sewer is in this game. Would you mind sharing?
The sewer is
says one, I am a busy man.
It's not an
I have no
actual
time for the
location.
long
It
course of
is
study which will
kind of
be
just like a
necessary
thing that
to make me in
exists.
any degree.
There's a specific environmental puzzle
view,
there that
a
is kind of
person is
drawn
free.
out of
He is
a
autonomous
sewer,
in the
so to
sense that his
speak.
behavior is
I can
unopposed.
show it in a second.
That view,
Well,
together
not in a
with
second,
its
but
associated practices,
if chat really
You
wants
guys,
to
you
see
gotta
it.
run to focus
In
on
a
it. I don't want to
scientific
randomize
analysis
you too much.
reveals
You have enough of that
unexpected
in the game
controlling
itself.
relations between behavior.
This
Also,
is
I'd like
not
to report to
randomized.
chat that I success. Oh, okay,
By
this one is.
questioning the
Yeah,
control
this is the
exercised by
vanilla
autonomous man
solutions.
and demonstrating
And
the
I
control
am
exercised by the
blanking on
environment.
my own.
A science of behavior also seems to question dignity.
Well, while you're
or
focusing, I
worth.
want to tell chat that I did successfully solve
person
one
is
puzzle at the same
responsible
time
for
as the
his
runners,
behavior.
but I
Not
will
only
admit
in
it
the
was one
sense
of the
that he
door
may be
unlocking
justly
puzzles that
blamed
you
or
just draw a
punished
straight
for
line
his
for.
behavior,
So
but also
I'll take
in
it.
the sense
Count it
that
as a
he is to
victory
be
for
given
today.
credit and admired for his
So
achievements.
I just did those
A
4 panels so
scientific
that I can get
analysis
up here,
shifts
so that
the
I can get a
credit as well as the
overhead
blame to
view
the
of.
environment. In traditional
Oh
practices
no,
of
I am
modern
blocked. I will not be
justice,
able to draw
these
this
are
from here.
sweeping
So anyway,
changes.
so this is an environmental puzzle.
Those who are
So you
committed
guys
to
can see
traditional
kind of
theories
that
and
this
practices now
sort of
become
looks like a panel. Well, that's because
As
it
the
is.
emphasis shifts
It's
to
a
the
puzzle. You
environment,
can solve it.
the individual seems to be exposed to a new kind of
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna. So
The
yeah,
aim
that's
is
kind
to
of this game's
construct the
big
controlling
secret is the
environment,
environmental puzzles.
and to
There
make
are
it. Autonomous man
200
presumably
something
controls
environmental
himself in
puzzles, I
accordance
think,
with a built-in set
hidden
of
around the
values.
So
game.
many.
He works for what he finds.
I think it is
good.
200 something. It might be
But what will
212.
the putative control
Someone can fact check me on that number, but
and
I know
will
that
it
the
be
number
good
exists.
for those he controls?
And they require you to
What
often solve
Answers to
puzzles
questions
in
of this sort are the same
unintuitive
course.
ways, or
Call for value judgments.
like different ways, or kind of
BF
outside the
Study,
box solutions, or even sometimes
1971.
partial solutions that don't actually advance your progress towards kind of solving everything. Okay. I'm not going to spend too much time on trying to identify the alternate solution to that panel because I'm not seeing it immediately, and it's already over. The race is already over. But I could go click some more goals at least.
You definitely, if you want to aim for that double bingo there. And I believe Vlhunt is continuing to get different bingo tiles as well, just to see, you know,
he
what
said,
else
he
might
said
be out there.
he spotted 2 other lines that he did not like as much as the others. I just
okay.
totally walked past where I wanted to go. Right. So I'm headed under
I do that in real life all the time.
the treehouse area now to solve a couple more environmental puzzles that I believe I know where are. Like I said, there are 212 to keep track of, and I am not an all puzzles runner, so I need to. So you guys can probably see the start of it. Now I just gotta get it in line and draw it, and actually find where the game will let me click and draw it. There's one, and the second is my cheat sheet. I'm just gonna confer with the cheat sheet. Oh, it's on the rock, that's right. How do I... There it is. I just need to... Oh, it's just all the way over here. Right. Yeah, and this game, the environmental puzzles are all about perspective. So... I should have done this in a different sequence, but it's fine. I needed to get over there at some point anyway, so...
Goals are done, that's what matters. And it's cool
So
to see
we're
all the
headed
different
in-
options available.
So we're gonna head into the quarry / mill / boathouse area. We're not actually going to do any puzzles in the area besides these entry panels, which are giving me a run for my money as is. Ding. Nope, that doesn't work. So these are shapers. This is the main mechanic of the swamp region that I mentioned are painful sometimes. This appears to be one of those times. Unless I'm just not seeing an obvious solution, which happens not infrequently, unfortunately. I just want the boat here. There's an audio log over there that I could get, but I have a couple other audio logs in mind. Hopefully one that I will be able to snipe past. I'm also going to show that I don't need to do when the game for no reason. Tech issues. And I'm gonna hop in the boat. And the boat is certainly something that exists in the game. It is host to a large number of environmental puzzles that you solve both on the boat and by autonomously sending the boat on a route of its own, because you do not have to be on the boat for it to travel. So there are a handful of environmental puzzles where you actually have to send the boat somewhere and then like race to a specific location and beat it there, so that you can do the rest of the EP and then use the boat's movement to do it. There are also a bunch that you have to do like this. I did not do it fast enough. But you can change the boat's speed, so it's fine. You know, somehow Val has still not gone for a single line that I was going to go for.
Oh, wow.
So I think I just made a grave judgmental error. I did miss the audio log that I was going for, but it's totally fine. There's plenty of them.
So I think with Val now having a finished run, you could probably share with us your
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah,
route
that's
you had
true.
in mind.
Yeah, I was going for column 1 and row 3. I think that I just needed to go a little too deep into too many things here with this one, with this route idea. And then also kind of just the getting stuck a little bit on the fading lines was not great. For obvious reasons.
Yeah, understandably so.
But yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. I'm trying to think what I saw in the lines that Val went for that turned me off of them, and I'm not seeing anything. So I think that I overvalue boat stuff, just as a kind of general rule, and that's probably just something I need to improve on, because I think that's just something that I do. So
Bingos are amazing. And
for people who are asking what the sewer is, this is the sewer right here. So when you drive past it, the like opening reflects into the water, and you can draw an EP off of it. You can draw 2 off of that starting point, actually. There's a strat that you can do on the boat where you actually set the boat to drive past the destination that you want, and then force it to stop by manipulating the boat and avoid this slowdown process. But it's kind of precise, and you can actually lose more time than you would lose more time to screwing it up than you do if you just don't do it. So I don't always go for it. Depends on how I'm feeling.
Of strategy and execution in these bingo boards is always fascinating to watch. I do also want to remind chat that we could influence the bingo board for our next run. Again, coming up next, we do have the option to change our bingo board to be focused on those boss characters. So if you want to see a ton of bosses in our upcoming run, please get your donations in. Again, you can scroll down on this Twitch page, hit that donation link, assign it towards our incentive, and that will help us unlock a really cool type of bingo board for this next run. Would love to see it, but we are still $50 away. So if you can help us out, that would be fantastic.
So this is not a valid solution to this puzzle, but this is where the game starts to get really kind of. So this area that I'm in right now is the town, and it is, by and large, one of the most complex areas in the entire game. Because it is kind of the culmination of everything the game teaches you. It pulls symbols and mechanics from everywhere in the rest of the game. I think it pulls from everywhere. I can't think of anywhere that it doesn't pull from offhand. I had the right idea. I just did not execute it correctly. I do not need to go in there. There's an audio bug in here, right? I thought there was. This was going to be my 10th if I had actually hit the other audio log that I wanted to hit, but there's plenty more. I can't walk down ramps, apparently. Sounds like me in real life. So I'm going to do a boat EP here. So I opened that, so I solved that puzzle, which actually opens the door, which obviously opened the door to the shipping container. But what is not obvious that it does is it actually fills in a gap in the... It fills in a gap here that lets me draw an environmental puzzle here. I don't think I'm too far out. I think I just gotta wait for the boat to move now because I put it too slow. That is one of the nice things about the boat is that you can make it go slow when you need to, which makes some of these environmental puzzles the heck of a lot easier as a casual player. But it can be really frustrating as a speedrunner when you do it wrong and waste a bunch of time. I think I might have messed this up at this point. We'll see, though. Patience is a virtue.
Patience is a virtue, except when it comes to donating. Get your donations in now. Limited amount of time for that one. That was totally not a really bad plug. Don't worry about it.
Nah, that's one of the better ones I've heard today.
I really want to see the incentive for the next run, so...
Don't worry about it. Donate now.
I think I did it. So I'm going to set myself to move in and see. You can tell that there is a lot of things in this bingo that you need to know of or be able to do. It's very difficult to be super practiced in all of them, unfortunately. Especially when you're just doing bingo. And Randomizer too. Like obviously Randomizer throws a huge wrench into literally everything. But I love the little sparks that the game gives you when you are like, when it's like you've spotted the puzzle. Now you just need to actually finish it. Oh wait, I think I need to go past this. I think is what I messed up. I think I was going in the wrong direction to solve the puzzle. We'll see. I'm just sitting here moving my mouse like a madman, hoping that it scrolls by the right way. Yeah, this is. Yeah, it's coming. It's all coming together. There we go. And that is that one. So now I'm going to change where the boat has me going because actually I'm just gonna dock at town. There's no reason to not at this point. Well, I'm gonna let that go slowly while I check something for audio logs.
While you're doing that, I do want to remind everyone that while I am memeing a little bit about donations, they are making a huge impact in going towards Fred Hutch and cancer research. And if you're curious about the impact of your donation, $5 supplies 100 test tubes used by researchers. $50, which is all we're missing toward that next incentive, pays for 2 hours of a junior researcher's time to pursue a new cancer therapy. And $250, which is a lot, but we've gotten a couple of those like that in our donation total so far. That enables researchers to see which genes are switched on in cancer. That's a really cool thing. And $10,000, which would be really neat to get to, we can dream, buys a special freezer that can store tissue, DNA, and other samples used to unlock the mysteries of disease. With $15,000 raised for Fred Hutch in the past 4 years over all these bingothons, this is what your contributions have therefore bought or brought. So thank you so much, everyone, for your donations across all the events, but especially in this one. Thank you so much.
And the mind cease thinking about itself.
Clicked 2 audio logs there, so we only get to hear audio from one of them. But
all the fantasies that appear in dreams and imagination should cease, and there be no speech, no sign. Imagine if all things that are perishable
which are
prove
unshuffled.
still. But if we listen,
not gonna go for that right this
they are
second.
saying, we did not make ourselves. He made us who abides forever. Imagine then that they should say this and fall silent, listening to the very voice of him who made
While
them,
you're doing all of that,
not
do
to
we have a
that of
moment
his
for a
creation.
donation that just came in?
so that we should
Absolutely.
hear not his word through the tongues
Amazing.
of
Well,
men,
we have
nor the
$15
voice of
from
angels,
BTF
nor the
Flotsam
cloud's
saying,
thunder,
Boss
nor any
Rush
symbol,
sounds fun.
but his
And I
very
think you can all
self,
guess where those
which in
$15 are
these
going.
things we love.
Yes, they are going
and
towards
go
the
beyond
character
ourselves to
recruitment
attain a
only
flash
bingo
of that
upgrade, which
eternal
now
wisdom which
stands at
abides above all
$40 out of
things.
75,
And imagine
which
if that
means
moment were to go
35
on
more dollars,
and on,
and we are going to be seeing
leaving
some
behind
additional
all other
content.
sights
So
and sounds
any
but
one donation can bring us there, so keep those donations going, folks. We're nearly there, but we do need this incentive met before the start of the next run. So don't waste any time. Now's your chance. Let's make it happen. Back to you, CJ.
Alrighty. That is going to run for a second. And I am pulling up another resource. I pulled up the wrong resource. For the vanilla solutions to these panels, because these panels are the vanilla.
vision,
Are
which
vanilla.
ravishes
I do not
and
need it for
absorbs
all of them because
and
I can
fixes
just
the
solve
beholder
these.
in joy.
So this is an
so that the
environmental
best of eternal
solution.
life were like that
You know what, I'm just
moment of
gonna
illumination which leaves us breathless. Would this not
where
be
the
what is
environment
bidden in
dictates the
Scripture?
solution. Like you kind of have to observe the environment in order to put in a solution. I need to find the solutions now.
Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord.
You guys can tell whenever I tab out because the audio pauses.
Augustine of Hippo, circa 400.
They're actually so a little bit of fun knowledge about this game is that so the 100% category for this game is actually terrible because there is a single environmental puzzle that takes over an hour to solve, I believe is the timing. There is a theater underground in town that when you put in special codes that you find from solving bonus puzzles across the game, plays movies. And each of those movies hides an environmental puzzle within it. And one of them just is like an eclipse going across the screen. And so you have to keep your mouse on the like the eclipsed sun for the entire duration as it moves across the screen until you have connected the two sides of the screen. And as a result, the 100% category for this game is actually less popular than 99.8%, which is everything except for that environmental puzzle. But
It's amazing.
There is an important, valuable segue for that. Like, I didn't just, like, decide to start talking about that for no reason. Relatively recently, it was discovered that by abuse... I don't know a lot of the technical specifics, so if anyone in chat does and wants to correct anything I say, feel free. But there is a glitch in the game where by tabbing out, the game essentially accumulates audio to play and plays it all back at once when you tab back into the game, which has been used to, I believe, cut the Eclipse segment down to like 3 minutes if you do it right. Oh, I don't need to do any other panels in here, do I? No. The only thing now that I need to do to solve this is, or to technically get double bingo, is find the alternate solution to the pressure plates. So we can go stare at that for a second while I continue to ramble about this game's glitchiness. So yeah, so 100% is, I think, kind of sort of making a resurgence because of that. However, that said, oh hey, here's an audio log. We can click another one.
We join spokes together in a wheel, but it is the center hole
despite that
makes the wagon move.
the glitch is really finicky, doesn't always work, and requires a very particular like computer setup in a lot of the time to get it consistent. So it's also still not super popular.
That makes it livable.
You know, it almost made it worse in a way.
But non-being is what we use.
But yeah, so that's a little fun
BC.
fact of how we've exploited a glitch for that. I don't know much about the specifics of the glitch, but it's kind of insane just to think about. Also, I don't know how recent this is, but so the any % category for this game used to be 7 lasers. The point of this game is you have to solve the puzzles and activate lasers, which go and point up at the mountain. I just solved a laser over in the other area. You can't see the mountain from here. And after 7, you unlock the ability to go into the mountain. 11 gets you the game's quote-unquote true ending, which is all the areas of the game is 11. But it was discovered that you could just, like, clip out of bounds and just clip straight to, like, the mountain area, like, at the end of the game. And any % is now, like, the actual any % is, like, just a few minutes now, down from, like, 20 minutes. Well, no, down from, like, 12 to 15, I think, for really high-level runners. Down to, like, I think less than 5. But now most people just run 7 lasers. No one particularly likes any %.
That makes a lot of sense. It's always incredible to see how people discover new solutions in speedrunning, new ways to make the game just a little bit shorter each time.
I'm actually just going to go to an online solver and plug this puzzle in and see what it comes up with for the alternate solutions. Because once you see one solution in this game, it is often very, very difficult to see any other solution in a timely manner. And for the sake of marathon, I'm just going to try and do so in a timely manner. It'll also tell me that if there is one, there is only... Oh, I put the puzzle in wrong. I didn't update part of it correctly. I do have a suspicion that there is only one, and that therefore there is a second solution. Never mind. Alright, so it is telling me to solve the panel... Oh, no. So, you see, I didn't input this into the puzzle, but you see this broken pressure plate? It means we can't actually do what the solution wants me to do, which is this. I do believe that I picked an impossible goal, unfortunately. So I was kind of doomed from the start.
Oh,
that's unfortunate.
I did knowingly take a risk on that, so I only have myself to blame. but I did not really see any better option. I just totally botched this. So, I mean, I don't know where we're at, where we're at on time.
We
think we're
just
right
did
about-
estimate.
Okay, yeah, so perfect.
Basically.
That works.
Yeah.
Well, as we wrap things up, I did want to share a message from Val, who unfortunately couldn't be in the voice chat, but did an incredible job on the run. So these are Val's words. I just wanted to say I'm glad I've discovered this community and this marathon just in time to join, and happy about my run despite unfortunate technical issues. I hope I'll figure them out and then join Bingothon Summer 25 properly. I have a few games in mind, including making a bingo for one that doesn't seem to exist on either Play Bingo or Bingo Sync, but it'll be a surprise for now. Thank you so much, Val. You did an incredible job today, and I am definitely curious about that surprise for Bingothon 25.
Yeah, we all absolutely are. He's mentioned to me in the past while we were prepping for this, so very fun. But yeah, that's all I have for this. If you guys are interested in The Witness, there's a ton of resources for speedrunning this. And the randomizer is actually really accessible because you just launch the game and hit the randomize button in the external program that does the randomization. It's relatively stable despite the fact that we saw a crash today. That's kind of my own doing because I tried to randomize after kind of starting the game up. It does also offer an expert mode, which is great. Great fun as well if you are looking for a real challenge. I think it took me like 14 or 16 hours to do an expert run through on my first time. Blind, obviously, it's a little different, but there are tons of resources for both speedrunning and consequently bingo for this game. The bingo board is really, really good for vanilla bingo. It's also quite good for randomizer. It just needs a little bit of tuning for randomizer. But yeah, so if you guys are interested in this game, be sure to check it out. It's good fun. Thank you, Val, for doing this with me. It's unfortunate that you couldn't actually be here in voice to say your words, but it's always a great time whenever we do stuff together. But yeah, I will hand it back off to our hosts to wrap us up.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. This was a very nice showcase all around, and seeing all of these amazing sights once again in this game. It was really lovely time. So thank you both kindly for that showcase. So stay tuned because we're now going to head into a quick intermission. We're going to run some ads to make sure that we can keep the lights on, and then we will be right back with Gensokyo no Nazo right after a short intermission. Don't go anywhere.
It's such a privilege to be a part of a collaborative group that have helped contribute and make advances both in detection and early diagnosis to imaging, even in the advanced disease setting, as well as thinking about how we can bring novel treatments into the clinic and allow breast cancer patients here at Fred Hutch to have the best possible quality of life.
1 in 8 breast cancers go undetected by the human eye. So here at Fred Hutch, we're developing artificial intelligence and deep learning technologies that could detect cancer beyond what a human can interpret, leading to earlier cancer detection and better survival.
At the Hutch, we're leaders in precision oncology, and that includes the surgeons. One of those advances we're currently working on is technology to be able to remove all cancer with a lumpectomy at the time of the first operation. 20% of patients who undergo a lumpectomy, those patients need to go back for a second or even third surgery to attain clear edges or borders around the tumor. But at the Hutch, we're studying a new technology to help eliminate the need to go back for second or third operations.
All this work would not be possible if it weren't for Fred Hutch and the team around us. Without the multidisciplinary environment and collaborative environment, none of this innovative research would be possible.
We're making tremendous progress in our treatments for our patients with breast cancer. However, the need for novel therapies is still urgent, and we see that each day in patients that we meet for whom our treatments are no longer as successful as they need to be.
The cutting-edge research we're doing today were innovative ideas. They require donor funders to come forward.
Fewer than 15% of studies get funding at the national level, and a lot of those larger studies that we submit for national funding require pilot projects and studies to help prove that our ideas are worthwhile to pursue. And it's small donations from donors and other organizations that move those research projects forward.
Donor gifts are absolutely critical in order for us to be able to bring those novel treatments from the lab into our clinics and to allow them to help our patients.
5 years ago, we wouldn't have imagined that the tools we're using today are real and in our clinics. Here at Fred Hutch, we're looking beyond for the tools of the future that are going to be the next breakthroughs.
How much to make me do the cow in house goal? Regular
Here's the
random
deal. If we reach $1,500 until the end of the run, you're gonna be doing current house. Alright, I got a new donation here. You wanna read it, Paul, sir?
It is $14 from Pink Batman 12 saying, "Can't wait for CJ to check the house and the cow."
House
and cow. Is that just what we started saying now?
I guess it is.
We just got a $35 donation from Silky Steve, who said, "Bingo! Time for house and cow. House and cow. House and cow. House and cow."
All right, we're off to the ranch. So I have to complete 2 laps of the obstacle course in 50 seconds, nonetheless. Don't know if that counted. No, it didn't work. It didn't count.
Oh, come on.
Off by frames.
That was so incredibly close. Fortunately, we do have to cut that there, though. We are out of time.
We did get bingo, at least, which is better than one of my practice runs did.
Hello, Bingothon! Happy time zone wherever you are at right now. Thank you so much for joining us as we raise money for the Fred Hutch Cancer Center, which is doing incredible research and impactful work. All of your donations so far have raised $722 towards this incredible cause. Thank you so much, everyone who's gotten donations in so far. And if you haven't donated yet and are looking for something to donate toward, we're currently setting up for our next run, which is Gensokyo no Nazo. And we have the ability to upgrade that so that all of the bingo squares are bosses. This game is going to be really fun, and having it be a boss-only bingo board is an incredible amount of alliteration that I really think we need in the event. So please get your donations in. We are only $35 away from that incentive, but we have to meet it very, very soon. So if you'd like to see it, get your donations in now. Paulister, what do you think about that incentive? Are you hoping to see it too?
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, with $35 left to go, like it's bound to happen. So I would try and get it met, but I'm currently going through a relatively rough financial period, so I will hold off. But I trust chat has my back, and they will help us close off this goal. Now, in the meantime, chat and Charbunny, do you want to play a game?
Oh, we get to play a game? That sounds fun.
Yeah. Well, as you might have noticed, we have this host blackout bingo here, and we're trying to check off as many goals as possible. So, me and Charbunny had a little chat behind the scenes, and we decided to do Guess the TV Show. So, row 4, column 3, Guess the TV Show. So, chat, me and Charbunny, we both have chosen a TV show, and we are about to describe it very poorly for you all. So, your task is to guess what TV show we're talking about. I'm sure Charbunny will figure out her show in just a moment. In my case, I can tell you the poor description for my TV show is Big Blue Box. I think is a pretty easy clue. So chat, what do you think Big Blue Box describes? And CJ in with the correct answer immediately. It was in fact Doctor Who.
That was so fast!
Yeah, it's like a very, well, yeah. Big Blue Box is quite a gimme of a clue.
I will say Big Blue Box and Big Boss Bingo have the same letters in them. Again, just a slight reminder for people to donate toward that incentive for our next run.
Yes, and another word that has the same letters in it is donate. Wait, no it doesn't, but you should do it anyway.
Close enough. If you flip the B like over a mirror, like we had some of those mirrored puzzles in the last game, then that's basically the same thing. Do donate immediately is definitely another acronym that we can go with. I passed my 5th grade spelling exam. My TV show, right, okay. So chat's already nailed it on yours. So let's see if they can get mine. I'm not sure about my description here, but surprisingly not an architect, doesn't understand that HR is a thing they should know about.
Oh.
I got some more because I don't know if that's at all enough. But surprisingly not an architect, I guess forgets the HR manual.
So, I think, may I hazard a guess as well, or?
Ooh, would you like to?
You
may have one guess.
One guess, okay.
You get one guess, and then we get a pause, and then we get another guess. We gotta spread this out a little bit. Make sure we increase the drama and the tension here.
Yeah. This is probably wrong, but my guess is gonna be Westworld.
Ooh, that is a good guess, but not quite what I have in mind. I will say, like, obviously, multiple things could potentially fit this description. I didn't give quite as good of one as you did. Not quite what I'm thinking. I also see Suits as a guess. Also not quite it. So let me add in another hint. Potentially could work at Fred Hutch, but probably shouldn't.
Oh. Okay, I think I know it now.
Okay. So we've got surprisingly not an architect who forgets the HR manual exists and could potentially work at Fred Hutch, but should not. House of Cards, another very interesting guess. Not quite what I have in mind. This is a long-running TV show. I honestly don't know if it's still on because I don't have cable anymore. But this is something I found out exists recently, and I've been thinking I might want to watch it again, even though it gives me some anxiety to see some of what goes down on the show. There's a lot of situations that are very unique and interesting that people may need to puzzle solve a bit to get to the bottom of them.
Okay, yeah, I think my answer is still the one.
Okay. Do you want to give chat more time, or do you want to hazard your guess?
I think I'll let chat have one or two more guesses.
All right.
But I think I have it.
Not Scooby-Doo. That would be a fun one to try to hint for, though.
I mean,
Maybe I
if
should have
you're
picked that one.
if you're getting anxiety from Scooby-Doo, that's something you should perhaps look into, my friend.
No, as a kid, I watched the one with the Hex Girls, and it was definitely a little on my scary meter. I will say you can also donate your guess if you just want the maximum amount of swag points on this. Just throwing that
Oh,
out there as
yeah.
an idea. Just
Mhm,
saying.
mhm.
There's options here, but you are also welcome to guess in chat.
And if I make the guess correct before you can make your donation, we'll give you the credit. It's fine.
Oh yeah, no, if you get your donation in, I will shout you out on stream live here at twitch.tv/bingothon and tell everyone how awesome you are at this game.
We'll
You
catch
can
some
also
party
donate.
poppers. I'll get some noise complaints because it's 8 a.m. over here. It's gonna be great. So yeah.
Thankfully, I have the world's nicest upstairs neighbor. I don't think she'll be super happy if at 10:50 p or 10:39 p.m. I can read numbers. This is great. Pop off a little bit, but I think that'll be okay.
Yeah,
Maybe I should give
it's fine.
Chat one more hint though. So there's been a couple different guesses. The name of this show is only one word long, and the word has been said in chat within the last 10 messages.
Okay, I know what it is then. I know
Was that your
exactly what it
guess?
is. Yes, that was my guess.
Okay, all right. We'll see if that gives chat enough information to try to make a guess here. Reminder again, if you are going to guess via donation, we are trying to unlock one incentive for the next run, which is coming up super soon. This is going to be Gensokyo no Nazo, and we can upgrade from the randomizer character only double bingo that we're on to basically a boss rush, where essentially if we meet this, we get all the bosses defeated. That's the only things we've got to go look for, and we don't have to do some of the less fun goals that require no game overs or resets. I heard you make a sound effect over there. Was that a pop-off? Did I hear pop-off?
Yeah, I was reading chat and I was just clicking my fingers because I think CJ got it.
Oh, congratulations to CJ. It is in fact House. For those who may not be familiar with the show, House is a medical drama with the world's most genius but absolute jerk of a doctor. So that's where I was trying to go. House, of course, being an architectural sounding name. Sorry I didn't get better clues, but congratulations to CJ for making that one happen.
No, those were pretty good clues, honestly. And to tell you about the thing you mentioned earlier about this show, it started in 2004 and finished airing in 2012.
The run, so you can tell when I went to college and stopped watching cable television from about that runtime. It's not too far off.
Yeah.
With
Bold of
that,
you
I
to
wanted.
assume we Europeans have televisions.
That was the other thing. It's like, shoot, what if I picked the most American show of all time? Fun fact though, the lead actor in that show is not American, but has a flawless American accent to the point where people didn't realize that they actually weren't American. Shout out to Hugh Laurie there.
Hugh Laurie, absolute legend, honestly.
So, does that mean that we have successfully completed a square of host blackout bingo?
I believe it is, which means I get to click it. Oh my god!
Thank you so much, chat, for helping us meet one of our bingo incentives. You helped us get this one. You're participating. I appreciate it.
I think we have somebody.
Yes?
Yeah. As we get the ready message from behind the scenes ready, I think we have one more donation that I can read before we get set up for the next run.
Yes,
we have
please.
a $10 donation by BTF Flotsam saying, donations are slower than chat, but house. So I think massive shout outs to Flotsam over here for getting it right. And let's see, did that money go where I think it went? Yes, it has. The $10 has gone to Gensokyo no Nazo incentive, which means we have $25 left. And this is like your final chance to get those last few dollars in. If it doesn't happen now, it's never going to happen. So get on it. As we're gonna, I think, yeah, we're gonna go off. Well, we're gonna mute ourselves here so we can bring everybody in and get fully set up. And then, in just a moment, we'll have Gensokyo no Nazo. Keep those donations coming. We'll be right back.